I gotta blow us up.
I knew you had it.
Good job, bro.
That's what's up. Teach them while they're young. Got my nephew in the building, and we got little mama sitting over there. Ken was scared the music was gonna be too loud, but she's in music.
Flinch.
I gave her that.
She ain't flinch, bro.
I gave her that good bath, that good massage, rub down, nice little warm bottle.
Say no. I just come from a musical family. Like my mama was loud the whole time I was inside of her. She good.
So it's nothing.
No, it's not. It's nothing.
Yeah, she's adorable.
What up?
I know they be like, when you gonna show her face? It's coming. It's coming.
Man, she run this house. We zombies right now.
Certified milkaholic. So if y'all know any anonymous, programs for babies who overdrink, we would like to sign our child up for Milkaholics Anonymous. Just DM.
She like her food. She like it. She loves it.
You look nice. I ain't seen you just dressed up in a minute.
Yes, I'm coming back. I've been going to the gym. Look, it's been hard. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I don't even want to front. It's been hard. I got back on the treadmill, and I thought I was gonna die. I really did. It was hard. I was breathing hard. But I made it. And then I get up and go walk like the neighborhood when I can. So I walk with Keziah today. So yeah, I'm back on it. I'm back on it.
Hit them streets. I feel the same way, man. Hit the gym. Nobody told me about dads putting on baby weight. I didn't get that. Hey, Nice. When Lil Nice came, did you put on baby weight?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It'll go.
They ain't say we both gonna get stretch marks.
You ain't got no stretch marks. You should.
But for real, I went in the gym, man. It was the most humbling experience. You've been off about a month and a half. You can't get but 7 pull-ups in.
It'll be rough, bro.
Yeah. I'm back at it though.
I think we should show our journey to that. You understand? So
looking like Al Bundy.
We should share the journey, especially me, for like moms who just had babies. Like, that baby weight is hard to get off. So I'm gonna share my journey. I'm getting my video and stuff together, and I'm gonna be honest about everything. When it hurts, it hurts. When it's hard. But eventually, get better.
And shout out to J Scope, because I know you still, finishing that program.
Oh my God, I had one on the other day.
Well, when we was at the hospital, they tried to give you that white, weird looking thing.
Yeah.
He was like, nah, you got the J Scope at the crib.
I had it on.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Between that and the mask, it's hard to breathe.
Good God Almighty. But it works.
Yeah.
I was drenched. Yeah. It works. Like, when I took it off, I was drenched. I think the Ricky said, I gotta watch him because he will steal one. Do you remember when you went through the airport with one on? I'm gonna put you on blast. He went through the airport nice with one on, and the thing started. Please tell the story.
Oh, you went.
Be honest.
You got pat down for the.
Be honest.
So we were at the airport. This is so embarrassing. I can't even believe I'm telling this story.
I love you for it.
So we were at. So I was trying to slim down, and because whenever she on her journey, I get on it too because it helps. It helps being a friend. So we were going out of town, and she had an extra one. But the thing is, the extra one she had, it was cheetah print. But I wore it because I wore it under my clothes because I'm like, nobody going to see it. She's sucking in. I'm trying to suck in too. So we get to the airport. We get ready to go through TSA. And when they was like, boo, boo, something is under there. We need to see what it is. And so I'm standing there. And so the man came over there. He's like, we need to check you because it's showing that you got something under here. And so I'm kind of like, it's like nuts. So they took me in a room. It was like 3 guys who went in there. And so we lift my shirt up, and it's this cheetah. And it kind of almost looked like a corset. It's this cheetah thing that's under there. And the man is asking me, yes, and the man is asking me, like, what is this? So I had to plead, the case. So I'm just like, I got in a wreck, and this is like a back brace. I'm like, this is a back brace. That was
nice comeback, though.
Yes, it was a back brace.
You know what I mean?
Cheetah back brace.
He got on the plane and was like, oh my God, I can't wait to do what just happened to me.
Yes, because I'm trying to get out of there, and they asking me, what is it? Like, sir, check me and get me out of here.
Started, and then after I took that thing off, I was like, woo. I always tell women, like, people come up to me and be like, do them things work? I'm like, yeah, but you got to put in the work. Yeah. So, yeah.
I'm on my meal plans. That's what I'm going to do. I'm on my meal plans because I don't eat enough. I'm the type of person, my wife be like, you done ate today, it's 3 o'clock. And I'm like, nah, I forgot about it. So making sure I eat enough, you know, eating right. But we are taking pictures each week. I promise you won't see mine till I've hit the finish line.
Yeah, it's horrible. Oh my God, I was embarrassed. I took Ken phone and erased them out of his phone.
We took pictures in my phone, and she went in my phone and deleted them. Say, I don't even want you looking at them.
Nope, I sent it to myself and I deleted those because I'm not used to that. But that kind of like falls on our topic. They don't do it for me. At the end of the day, that don't do it for us. We're not attracted to that. So if I continue to like just be like, well, I just had a baby. Oh well.
Like that don't,
you know what I mean? That don't do it for you, right?
Tell them how we got here, because this is, you know, we did the video today, and we were just having fun. Because when you said debate, they was like, he looked like we wasn't arguing. She was just like, I think this, I think that. I was like, well, tell me what you thinking about. She broke it down. I was like, yo, that's dope. I see where you're going. Now that you broke it down, let's run with it.
People thought we were arguing.
You know, people don't be understanding. They be looking like if we don't smile enough, if your eyebrows ain't arched.
You gotta stop reading it. It ain't good for you.
It be so much good stuff. I like stuff like that because what Doriga say? He say all of your conflict is content. So it don't move you, but you be like, okay, that's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now, listen. So I was having a conversation with someone very close to me. And we were talking about a situation that was very dear to this person. And long story short, she had been with someone for years. And this person decides they want to up and leave their entire family and go and be with someone else. Yeah, his entire family. Just left. Okay? Goes to be with somebody else. And it's been about 2 months now, and she and I have been going back and forth. And as I was listening to her talk, I was just like, oh, shoot, that is a great topic. Because now this person is starting to realize, okay, I had 10 great things over here, and now I got like 3 over here. But I left because my appetite sexually was big, and the person that was taking care of my kids, holding the house down, carrying themselves classy, a go-getter, college degree, I mean, just an elegant, classy woman. I left that, and now I want to go and get my rocks off for this big appetite that I have sexually, and after the thrill is gone, now I'm realizing, shoot, I should have stayed over there.
Relationship-itis.
Okay, so what I was thinking about, and let's just because we have never had this type of conversation, and I feel like we can go several different ways with this. I think you have something you can play off, and as well, reach you as well. They just don't do it for me. Sometimes I feel like, as I was listening to this person that's close to me talk, we started digging deeper on the past of you know, her significant, her ex. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's deep. There are some things that happened in your ex's past when he was young that is still attached to his life. So because they never dealt with that, and I can relate, okay, because that stuff happens generationally, whether it be pornography that can run through the family, you know, different sexual things you see at a young age, or if you've been touched or anything like that at a young age. In your marriage, in your grown-up life, you're still battling and dealing with that. So, because their appetite is big from something that happened when they were young, now she just don't do it for him. That's what we thought. Not realizing that, no, I might need to deal with myself And I might need to understand that what I'm dealing with ain't healthy for any relationship, because now I'm going to start bouncing from this to that. Because it's like a person who chases a high. And I was talking to Kendall. When you smoke, what they call it, Reggie. And then when the Reggie ain't good, you look for loud. You look for loud. Then when the loud ain't good, what's next?
You're probably going to go to pills or that syrup.
Okay, you're steady chasing a high that sometimes you got to understand that's like a spirit that's attached itself to your life. And it's not that person just don't do it for you. It's just that you got to get rid of some things that like you've been carrying in your past, the baggage. Because now you realize that person actually does do it for me. They had this. But I allow my habit to overpower and like as a shadow over who I'm with, and now they just don't do it for me. I don't want to be with them no more, and so I'm just jumping from relationship to relationship. We have to all understand that we all deal with that in some kind of way, and it's probably different for everybody in this room, but we battle with certain things, and you're not going to sit your partner down and say, look, this is what, so you hold that in, you're fighting with yourself. And you realize you wake up one day and you have lost your entire family, your marriage, your job, because that just don't do it for you anymore. Not understanding that you picked up bad habits that you have to let go of. Does that make any sense? When I was
that's deep. That's deep. Like I'm go ahead. You chime in, bro.
Yeah. I think that sometimes just listening to you, I can see some crossroads of behaviors, meaning that sometimes I feel like we are addicted to thrills. Yeah. The excitement of a thrill, the excitement of a secret. Yeah. I got a friend that I feel like when he gets with a girl, and once the secret is over, then he goes to another secret. Like he's addicted to secrets. He's addicted to thrills. And I think that we as a people, we are addicted to the newness of things. And we're addicted to thrills. And I think sex plays a big part. And once the thrill is gone, don't you got a song called that? Once the thrill is gone, once the thrill is gone, you're ready to go back to normalcy.
Because you got to think about it like this too. The person that I'm talking about, that's very close to me, has went through something very tragic as a kid. So therefore, sexually, she's not there. Like that's not something we got to do. She's not very emotional. She's not very touchy, feely. So he's going through this over here that he dealt with as a child. She's going through this over here that all it takes is each person looking at the man in the mirror and saying, I might need it. That might not be, this ain't working for me. Whether that be going to counseling with your significant other, you got to be honest with yourself. That stuff is like, it's a bad habit. It's things that you kind of like, they attach themselves to your life and you don't get rid of them. So it's not that they just don't do it for you anymore. Sometimes it's just that you might need to switch up some things that's going on in your world.
And then sometimes I wonder, and I don't want to go too deep into what I'm going to say, but sometimes I wonder, because I was talking to somebody earlier about this conversation, and sometimes I wonder, do people really know each other sexually? No. There are people who are dating, there are people who are married. I've been in a relationship with somebody, and after we broke up, we wound up having better sex because we lost expectations of who we thought each other was.
And I think
so sometimes I feel like people are in relationships with people that you really don't know. You know, a lot of women wonder why that guy is cheating with a girl that they would say is beneath her. And a lot of times it's because he can go and be sexually who he really want to be with that girl, and then with you, he can hold to be that man that he think that you want. But it's kind of crazy how
it's not. But see, that's the thing that I'm saying. Like, you have to be very, very honest in your relationship and say, okay, sometimes what we want though is, let's just keep it honest, is a stretch. It's we got young people and we got when you're watching certain videos, get what I'm saying, right? Sometimes you want to take that into it's it can be a stretch. It can be too much. Like there's a whole world out there. So sometimes it can be a bit too much, and you don't really understand that you only like it just because it happened to you at a young age, or you only like it because you saw somebody else watching it when you was a kid. Like it can affect the relationship. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what if it's on a lighter level? And because at what point do you really have a real conversation about what each other like sexually that is like that you're really honest about? Sometimes I just really wonder, where is the conversation when couples are really, really honest about what I like sexually? What was I doing sexually before you? What kind of stuff I'm into? Do a partner really know their partner sexually? Like, do you really have just the get down? Do you really have conversation? Like,
I think that didn't come till as we got to know each other.
We got married in 3 weeks,
right?
So we did
that didn't come. You know what I mean? But I can still say, I'm gonna put myself in the hot seat. Growing up from like that pornography world, some things just don't work in my marriage. Some things I had to be like, that ain't it. That ain't even. This love making thing is something totally different. It's like praise and worship.
Let me get in here.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
you get some
I
things
wanted
just
to
don't.
wait intentionally.
Okay, go ahead.
So I could create some leg room. All right. We've heard it before, but we kind of escape it because we all have a desire to fill our own desires. We talk about curses. We talk about God. We talk about the purity of a relationship and the way God instituted it and wanted it to be carried out. And after we talk about it, we go right back to the enemy's plan. Case in point. The first thing two people should do before they have that conversation, we putting the cart before the horse, is to say, okay, if you love God, I love God. Let's cleanse the past. Let's break these soul ties that we have. Let's acknowledge whether they were sexual abuses, sexual traumas, addictions, whatever nighttime lifestyle that you had. Let's break those soul ties. Get rid of anything that person got you, so it's not lingering in your house. That bracelet, those pair of shoes. When you cut a soul tie, you have to get rid of every path connecting you to that person. Why is that important? Because a lot of what we're talking about it's against God's design. Because truly, and we've all made the mistake, you're not supposed to have nothing to compare nothing to, right, if we begin the right way, right? So because we're going to walk this dog. But in the beginning, God desired for me to meet this woman, having had not been with anybody, save myself for marriage. Then there will be no comparison. This will be everything because it will be my first experience, my first rush, my first You know what I'm saying? But because we go from here to here to here to here, watch this, indulge in this, listen to this conversation, peer pressure, judge this, insecure here. Now we're filled with so much pollution that we don't even know which way is up to ask what we truly want because we've lost ourselves in the spinning of the world. That's first. Now let's get past all of that. And we here now, right? It's hard for couples to have that level of trust and vulnerability because you're quicker to talk about money, careers, in-laws than that thing because it still is, and no matter what society tries to do, will forever be taboo because it's not supposed to be in our face the way it's in our face. It's supposed to be in the bedchamber. It's supposed to be something where you don't know what we're doing, not on Instagram talking about or doing it on Instagram or OnlyFans pages, whatever. You know what I mean? It's not supposed to be that. But since it's here, you have all these different addictions and temptations and lures drawing you away from your lover. And I believe this, and then let's keep kicking it around. Temptation, in my opinion, is not something that's drawing my attention. And you said it early, like cloudiness. What temptation does is it blindfolds me from the truth of what I have. What temptation is it's a attractive blindfold. So like the scenario that you gave about, who is that person came into that person's life, right? I'm trying to be walk a tightrope, and created a blindfold to where that person could no longer see that which they already had. And that's one of the issues that we have is we don't protect our ear gates. We don't protect our eye gates. We don't monitor what we watch to keep ourselves pure. What we do is we look at everything and we wonder and we consider and we hypothesize and we guess. And then what the scriptures say, some temptation first starts in your mind, then it takes root in your heart, then you act it out. But it's so much coming at us, and this right here, is so many men addicted to porn because you don't have to talk to nobody, you don't have to have a relationship, nobody has to know it, and you don't have to be accountable to it. But then you meet a woman who you're accountable to, you have to be open with and communicate with, and you done fell in love with all these other porn stars out here, and you trying to get her to do acrobatics in the bed without even talking to her.
And that's what I was talking about. Like, I don't think it's difficult to talk about what we like. But I do think, like, bouncing off what you said, and I said that in the beginning, it's like a praise and worship thing. Somebody say, what are you talking about? What do you mean by that? When you worshiping, it's not a planned out thing. Things happen, and you're just like, oh, my God, I just came to, and my hands were lifted. I think love making is like that when you truly find your soulmate and you're truly walking under God's, plan out his plan. They used to have, like, it was two different movies. You remember the love movies, the old love movies? Like, sometimes they would be like medieval time movies, and then you had, like, the new school movies. We got a kid in here. Sean, I'm going to kill you. I can't go where I want to go. Okay, follow me here, y'all. Okay, he out of it. Okay. I remember, like, we were kids. You remember when, like, HBO after 12 o'clock used to come on? My grandpa was so old that I don't know if he forgot we was in the room, but he would just be sitting there and it would be on the TV. And everybody would be like...
Just get quiet.
Get quiet. Okay, so those movies, I remember when I first saw my first love movie, like, what movie was it? It was like old and poetic and medieval times, and there was a love-making scene and the woman cried, and I remember being like, what was that? Like... what made her cry? Because from the stuff I've seen, there was no crying in that. Like, there was no passion in that. That was just straight, like, you know what I mean.
Everybody knows. Stop playing.
But when I saw that, I had now two things to. I'm like, okay, so there's two kinds, and that what I'm talking about is the teardropping kind. Where there are no plans. You just now, you getting to know who I am just through love and through being in the bed. I don't got to sit and tell you, like, okay, now flip me, now trim me, now toss me down. It just happens like worship. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
We talk about it in the book, No Crowns in the Castle. We talk about it when we talk about dating for life. And there was a segment in there where we said, at the end of the day, and we have to be comfortable talking about it because the wrong perspective ruins relationships. You know what I'm saying? We said that lovemaking should be the curtain call. There's a whole movie, and that should be the curtain call, the final roll of credits. It shouldn't be the opening act. It shouldn't be the main scene. It shouldn't be the whole, theme of the movie. By that I mean the way my wife wakes up, the way we hold hands riding to the grocery store, the way that we raise our daughter, the way that we tag team with things around the house, the way if something's on her heart, she comes to me. All of that is romance and intimacy that plays a role. So by the time you get to that point of coming together, there's a whole energy working that's working on your behalf, on her behalf, and I got to say this the only way I know how to say it. Too many men, we misconstrue making love with having slow sex. There's a difference.
Oh, God. Break it down. Don't tell all your secrets.
I ain't telling no secret. I'm just calling it for what it is, and I'm saying the clean version. A lot of men think that making love is having slow intercourse, and that's not what it's about. It is if you can put yourself in a 110% selfless place, that is lovemaking. when both parties can enter in love, understanding, communication, and demonstrate selflessness at its highest physical level. That's love making, not just having slow intercourse.
And it's dope because I feel like what you said, we have to teach the younger ones, because like us, the 12 o'clock HBO can catch them and then they're doomed.
No,
and then
it's on IG and YouTube at 9 in the morning. So if we don't do something, see
9 in the morning, where you seen it at?
It was on Tasia's Word.
No, there wasn't no Tasia's Word.
My thing is, anytime you go on your phone,
it's on there.
Anytime you.
No,
real? Not like, I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm like,
no.
Oh, okay.
Because what we do in the kingdom is we don't talk about it, right? So we leave them at the mercy of wrong information and perspective contamination. We have to be comfortable saying, nah, young brother, nah, young sister, nah, my peer, elder, that's not the way it's supposed to be. Because if we don't, they got no problem talking about it. They got no problem charging for it. They got no problem luring you in. So if we don't find comfort in having these type of conversations, how can we as a people have the more intimate ones at home?
I was even going to say, and I know we got two more, it was another topic we wanted to talk about, so this is cool. I like this. This is fun. I was even going to say, like, you don't even have to talk about it, like, walking it out. Like, for example, I believe I'm going to have to take a break and do a diaper change in a minute. But, for example, Dallas got him a girlfriend at school. Dallas goes and does the things that he see Kendall do with me. We hold hands. He went out there in the back of my yard and picked one of my flowers and took it to school, like, because he knows.
I took him out there. He had one of them little daisies in the front. I said, nah, man, if you want a real flower. He said, yeah. I said, let me show you where to get a real flower from. So I took him back to the back. He looked at him. He started grabbing all of them. I said, man,
you
slow
better
down,
stop
young
picking
boy.
all my flowers. But I said that to say this, like, he's trying to copy what he see Ken do, and we don't allow him to go on certain things just because we know it's a lot out there. Mm-hmm. So going back to that, the person that's close to me in that relationship, that thing that he deals with is something that he caught when he was a kid. And if you don't deal with it, then we make it normal and we say, well, what about it? My appetite is just big and they just don't do it for me. I think sometimes we only do what we see. Is that really your appetite? Or did you see? I know what you were saying, but.
You know, what I was going to say, too, is how concerned should you be about somebody that you're meeting or dealing with experience? Because if you deal with somebody that their sexual experience is way on another level, and that means that it's going to take so much to get them off.
I'm not to cut you off. My concern wouldn't be trying to satisfy them in that area. My concern would be, what hole are you trying to fill up with sex? That's what would worry me. Like when when that is so far out of the stratosphere, I'm like, what trauma, hurt, insecurity, need for validation? It's like a hole, and you trying to fill that hole with this. I can't never compete with that till I at least understand, what are we digging? What's the real thing that you're doing here? Because it's anything that's unhealthy, alcoholism, too much sex, too much smoking, too much whatever the case may be. It's masking something else, and that's just that's the billboard, but it's the building inside is condemned. That's what would scare me. I'm not even going to try to chase that and wear myself out, because you'll never feel it, because that ain't the issue. That's a byproduct. And by me now, I'm gonna get crippled in my understanding and self-esteem and self-worth, trying to help you fix something, and we don't never deal with the issue anyway. But if I could figure that out, maybe we could make love. Maybe you could realize, I don't need this. This does do it for me. I am okay within this realm of normalcy and healthy, moderation.
Now, we ain't trying to say it's got to be a boring sex.
No, please, Lord,
please
no.
don't take that.
Please, Lord, no.
What I'm saying is that I'm seeing a lot of relationships break up because they're saying they just don't do it for me. And now this person is realizing, hold up. It's just that one little area maybe that I had a problem with, and you know I've dealt with this since, and then boom, 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 and now it's all starting to come out, and I'm like, okay, boom, he's got some things that he's dealing with, and I feel like you don't have to be boring, but you at least need to get down to the nitty gritty of why that is attached to your life. Like you didn't just that you saw it, and it's like, ooh, okay, so now I want to leave you because you ain't doing it. You never know, the person might be down for it, but it's just still something that you've been dealing with, and it'll have you hopping from relationship if you don't.
And putting more miles on you too.
And the reason why I was asking is because sometimes, like in the dating process, like you have a lot of single people out here that's dating, and in the process of you dating, most people think that it's a turn on to sit on the phone with somebody, have these conversations about how freaky you can be, right? Listen, this is what's going on in the dating world. But what you don't know is really what you might be getting yourself into, because you know the saying to be careful who you fall in love with, because once you fall in love with somebody, now you're going on a journey that might take you over here. It's kind of like now I date somebody, I fall in love. Hey, you want to try drugs? I do drugs. This is just a simple thing. Now you on drugs. Yeah. This same stuff happened with sex. Yeah. You know, I've met people and I've been like, hey, this is too much for me. I don't know what. I don't know what. Because you it's easy to say what we won't do. But when you engaging and you fall in love,
we all do crazy things for love.
Yes, because you know sometimes we think we're stronger than we really are. But when you fall in love with somebody and now they want you to do this crazy stuff you never done before, and you not even knowing that this can lead to another door, and this you're never, like you said, you're never going to satisfy them. They're taking you on a sexual journey that is taking you so out of character. Now you're having all kind of stuff. Now you don't know, you know what I mean?
But it goes back to what Ken said just now. Sometimes you have to cleanse yourself. Like when I did the 7-month fast, that was intentional because I had a lot of relationships, jumping. Thought I was in love with this person. Thought like I needed to fall back and fall in love with myself, and I had to prepare myself for my husband. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes even in that, like, you getting on the phone and you having these conversations and y'all going back and forth and you like, well, this is what I like, and this, okay, you don't work. Okay, hey, over here, well, this is what I like. Okay, well, he can get with it. Okay, this is what I like. Well, she don't like it. It's still a cycle that needs to be broken so that you can prepare yourself for the one. Because that's the question we all get, right? How do we know when it's the one? I want to find the person I'm supposed to be with for the rest of my life. Well, these are some of the things that you need to do in order to have it. Because if you don't, you're just running away and you're skipping and you're hopping from this person to that person because you want to keep having these sexual conversations. And if the person don't feel your appetite, I'm just saying sometimes we got to try something different, because we both know, all of us in this room know, we all at young ages had some times or things we did or things we might be ashamed about. But now that you're married, some of that stuff you did back then you don't really think about, right?
And so you saying that, so basically you should set some kind of boundaries, like, and because hear me out, because this is the realistic part of dating. Like, we get turned on sitting on the phone having these conversations, not knowing doors that this can actually take you in, because you're sitting here, because we living in a world now where dating is hard, for people who are single. So you get with somebody, you thinking that all this freaky talk is like, this is nice, this we can really have it on. But what you don't know is this person that you're dating is really toxic, and they getting ready to take
we talk about this journey. In the book, and then I'm gonna let you have it.
Journey that you can't even handle. And so, for me, I know I'm very, very cautious about what I decide to engage in, because sometimes you don't know what you can and can't handle, and especially once you fall in love with somebody.
Yeah, you're right. We talk about this in the book, and then I'm going to step off, y'all, just right there and change my little mama. When me and Ken met, we didn't talk about sex at all. We didn't talk about sex. We didn't try to have sex. Like, that's what attracted me to him and blew my mind, because he was talking about deeper stuff, and I was, so what did I say? So mentally, he made love to me. And I had never had anybody to do that before. You know how I called you and was like, oh my God, I like him. I liked him off the jump, because he never gave me no oohs, no ahs, no God, you bad, he didn't do any of that. So here I am coming off this 7-month fast, and I'm telling God, I need something and I want something different, because everything that I have been doing has not been working. You understand? So when we meet up, I'm just intrigued and I'm just looking at him. He just talking and he asking me questions that nobody's ever asked me. And we're talking about my plans and where we could go. And I'm like, oh shoot, he made love to me mentally, like in a whole nother. I had never had that before. So what I'm saying is sometimes we have to try something different. No, you shouldn't be talking about that on the phone because first of all, you don't even know John or you don't know Tamika. So why are you giving them all of that? Like, I need to know mentally, where can you stimulate me in different areas other than that? Because sometimes all you got is sex and in the other areas you got nothing and it still don't work. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like, yes, you guys, I'm going to say that. And I know some of y'all are like, well, I don't want to talk about that. I'm hot and I'm bothered right now. I'm trying to call somebody now. Don't do it. Because that's when we mess up and your heart is now involved. And now you all jacked up and you dealing with this spirit, that spirit. He can't do this. He strung out on drugs. He done stole all your money. But you had some good sex, though. But that ain't it. That's all I'm saying. Save yourself the heartache and try something different. We talk about that in the book and we go deep about it. When we met each other, we didn't talk about sex. Now, I'm going to be very, very honest. There was a moment where we had been hanging out and I had saw his muscles and I was like, well, what's he going to bust up? What's good? What's good? Miley? And then what she say, Miley, what's good? And he would not. Let's be honest. We talk about this in the book. He would not. And then I remember coming home and I was telling my mom, I was like, I don't know. I think he might be sweet because he ain't push up on me. Something wrong with him. And my mama was like, the quick reminder, ain't that what you was fasting for? Saying you didn't want that? I'm like, yo, I had to call and apologize. So I'm human. We all get hot and bothered. Sometimes it takes like another person or myself saying like, look, let's just try something different because all the other stuff we did not work. Let's try something different. And you for a fact, you speaking because you a man of God. You love God. So certain things you just can't do.
And I'm realistic with myself sometimes. I'm realistic with myself too. And I think that's my point that I'm making is that sometimes we're not realistic with ourselves. We're going in doors that we think we can handle. Yes. And in fact, you really can't. That's why I've never tried drugs, because I didn't know, I've been out on the road and people offer me drugs, and I wondered like, what's the feeling like, the confidence and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But I've always been scared if I walk in that door, mm-hmm. could I ever walk back out? And so sometimes I feel the same way when it comes to sexual experiences. If I walk in that door, will I ever be able to just walk back out and go back to normalcy?
And that's what I've been waiting on right there, right?
I'm just stepping.
Do you need some help?
No, I'm not pregnant anymore.
I'm just saying you got on some YSL heels.
By the way, they loving this conversation.
Okay, good. So I'm saying I'm a married man. Get a girl. That's the thing that I've been waiting on is we operate in life and she okay? She chill.
You are such a good goddad to dip your nose in a pamper. Now come on, somebody. Now that's a goddad. He dipped his nose down there in that pamper. And she's clean. All right,
it was the core balance for me, bro.
Yeah.
Camera didn't even move.
Keep the party going.
Check it though. Walk in that door and better walk back out. How many people have lost great men and great women because, quote unquote, they don't do it for me? And you go on this treasure hunt trying to find the it factor. And you get it. And then you go home. And you realize that didn't do it for you. That's what's happening on a major level. People are leaving homes, marriages, family. A lot of men out here living two lives. Got a family over here, girl on the side. You know what I'm saying? And you bouncing around saying, just don't do it for me no more. Just don't do it for me no more. So then you go out on this hot pursuit to find the it factor. You get the it that you thought you wanted, that you thought was going to fill that hole, that you thought was going to make you complete because you got a crack in your personal identity and you're trying to find it in somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Which is toxic within itself, right? The whole mission is toxic. you get it just to look back and realize it's not what you really want. What did I say one day? I said happiness is not having what I want. It's wanting what I have. Happiness is not having what I want. It's wanting what I have. And so walking through that door, can you walk back out? I think that's the pandemic when it comes to relationships. It's people being with somebody through thick and thin, good, bad, skinny, fat, all the vows we did last week, rich or poor, sickness or health. And then you looking at all this cosmetic entertainment. And you thinking that that's going to make you feel better as a man. When you should wake up being whole within yourself off the rip and be able to take pride in your tribe and not think that, this midlife crisis little thing in the dress is going to make you feel better about the man that you are, because that door, because that feeling, that high, it'll never hit. You'll never reach the climax of that high if you feel inadequate within your own self. Once you start to feel wholesome and secure in your own identity, you know what happens? Your taste bud change. That's what happened to me. It wasn't about women. It was the fact that the more I started looking in the mirror, know who I was, know my power, my calling, knowing the favor on my life, understanding how much God loves me, what he's doing for me, you ain't attractive no more. It ain't that you don't do it for me no more. I'm realizing who I am now. So now my taste buds done changed. My preferences done changed. My taste in music done changed. My style of dress done changed. So, of course, my woman got to compliment the way I see myself. So sometimes when you look at these jackrabbits hopping and hopping and hopping, playing groundhog one day, jackrabbit the next, that's a person who's running from the mirror. And what it is she's a reflection for today. She's a reflection for tonight. She's a reflection when I feel good. When I feel bad, I get me a big girl during tax season. Whatever you need to do, right? The little musical chairs of women or guys, because women, y'all, some savages out here too. But what you're doing is you running from the work of self-development, self-improvement, so you can heal. Because once you heal, you'll start to say, I don't want that in me. I don't want to be in you. I know my value now. And it's a powerful thing when a man starts to know his value and he say, nah, I'm worth too much to lay with you. Because, we got the stereotype that we'll hit anything that move. But when a man say, nah, I know my worth. How women, I hear what I'm saying, used to be, where it was just, women weren't as loose as they are now. Not all women. None of y'all watching, none of our Taylor Talk family. But this stuff that's out here right now, dudes used to have to chase and women were chaste and now it's like as much as you can catch, you need another hand.
You remember that movie? Oh shoot, Jada Pinkett played in it, and my boy that used to play Sammy Davis Jr.
Oh Who yeah, Woo. You talking about Woo?
Woo.
I remember this.
I watched Woo the other day because you watch all the movies. I knew you was gonna come up tell me what it was. Remember in Woo, she made him like all his friends was clowning him like, man, you get in the night, you get in the night. She just kept taking him through, and she was intentionally doing stupid stuff to embarrass him, turn him off, like, you know what I'm saying? But he never stopped because none of that turned him off. And it wasn't like, nah, that don't do it for me. Nah, she burped, she sneezed, she walked with a limp. He kept going. Like those times have changed. Those times have changed. Because if a man don't get it on the first night, and sometimes that happens where the ladies want love so bad that you do it thinking.
Because you with the mate is people. What I'm taking is people in here with the mate.
When this comes down to, are they saying how far do you go? Do it before you say this is too much.
How far do you go sexually? Like, because if you got a partner that's wasn't experienced, like, and you're married and you want to please, like, how far do you go before you just like, I'm not doing it now? Like, I'm just because you got people that's married and you got partners that's wanting to trust
it's
them.
It's different for every marriage. It depends on the person, I believe. You know what I mean? Like, now if you come to me talking about you want to go down to the Lazy Fire Ranch to see some animals, okay, yeah, we done. Yeah, I don't know. That's when the D word come up.
Date night, rabies shots.
You want to go down there to the Lazy Fire Ranch?
Rabies shots tonight, girl. Shots on me, girl. Hepatitis A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
You can go by yourself. Now you tripping. Now I don't even know who you are. I feel like
you can't even sleep at night. You just be like,
yo.
Nigga, did you ask me?
Oh my God! I think you start looking at your partner totally different, like stuff like that. Yeah, but when it comes down to, I will say, a woman. I'm gonna speak to the women. You can't be a big boy. You got to have fun because this is my lifetime partner. So if it's something how do I know if I don't like it if I not try it? Long as it ain't no crazy. You know what I'm saying? But this is my lifelong. So let's try something. What's your, you know what? And I'm gonna give this and I'm gonna stop because we talk about it in the book, so I don't want to give too much. But I asked him, what is a fantasy you've like, some fantasy you've had? Now it's got to be a clean fantasy. We can't do nothing stupid. But what is a fantasy? And it was a date night, and I had my glass of wine. He had his glass of wine. We talked about the fantasy. We went to the mountains. Come on, ladies, spice it up. Because if we've been together forever, just going inside of that room doesn't work. Because it just doesn't. So you got to spice it up. But I'm talking to those who are allowing that sexual thing to be so strong in their life where you got a woman over here and a woman over there, you done left your family, you gotta, like, you, that's something you gotta fix. But if I'm with my husband, yeah.
Kendall, I'm interested in what you was getting ready to say about that crossing that line. What you was getting ready to say something about that line, crossing it. How did you cross that line or something? I was interested in that.
This is my thing. I think that if you're gonna have a conversation, right? Because talking about experimentation is a conversation. I think you need to have a conversation. I think whether it's the guy or the female, you need to understand, you know, what I'd have to do some fact finding. What is this going to do for you? Like, because clearly that person's either saying they're bored. You're asking you got to listen to what's not being said sometimes, man. Life is a game of chess. I hear what you're saying. It happened to us the other day. I heard what you said, but I also caught what you were saying. And I was, you know what I mean?
I wasn't even.
No,
really
I'm just saying.
I was just letting you know because I wasn't.
Now you. So the person is saying, "Hey, I want to try this." Okay, but what else is being said? I'm looking for something else. I'm curious. I got my curiosity antennas are up. Respond. But how do you know how to respond? How do you know you satisfy that need if you just do the act? If you just do the act and you just lay down, go buy this, install this, or get the wires installed or whatever you into, how do you know that if I do this, this is going to do this for you? How can I check off that I helped you reach the spot? And one more thing real quick, fellas, if you ask for something, I hope you are prepared to reciprocate. I really do. You know, cats be quick to be the one to throw. I ain't saying women don't. But I know men are physically minded, visually minded, more fleshly, lustly driven. Don't be selfish and be like, okay, I want to try this. Be prepared and be open-minded that she want to try something as well. You know, I just think that has to, it's weird because in marriage there shouldn't be, the bedroom's not defiled, right, but you got to be careful what doors you open up. Because once you open up that door, Satan wants to take any opportunity to take a pure thing and pollute it in any way he can because he doesn't want you making love at that level. He doesn't want you operating in that level of intimacy because there's power in that. This whole globe that's spinning right now was created off that one single moment. You understand? God could have gave Adam Andrew and just kept it pushing. No, he's got a design for it. And when you do things in his perfect will of design, that's a powerful thing. So I just think that you have to be careful. And if you walking up to a line, it's almost like having that next drink. You know that next drink could leave you with a bad morning the next morning. You know if you do that line or you do something, you know what the repercussions can be. I feel the same way about opening up a door sexually. If you, boom, thank you, Father. If you step across that line, forget him or her, can you look yourself in the mirror in the morning? If you could look yourself in the mirror after having done whatever the case may be, and you still feel like a queen, you still feel like a king, choice is yours.
We should say that to some people because some people will be like, I felt good. I felt good.
How do you have the
You gotta tell them like, no, it's not right.
Well, I mean, it depends on what it is, because at the end of the day, if you would have come to me and say, babe, I got a thing for orangutans.
Yeah.
Big, hairy, orange orangutans.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you would have come to me and say, hey, babe, boom, 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 you're my wife. It is my job to serve you, to please you, to be the source of your fulfillment. I can't just shut it down. I can't discount it, because what I'm doing is I'm smothering a flame that's burning inside of you.
So you were telling me you gonna go to boys' costumes and you gonna get dressed up like an orangutan? Is that what you said?
I'm gonna have Mike. What up, Mike? I'm gonna have Mike come and install something. You gonna come in the house one day. It's gonna be like green plants everywhere. I'm gonna have a Jungle Book playing. You understand? Or Planet of the Apes or something. And I'm gonna have no more roses. I'm gonna have bananas everywhere. And you better wake up next morning and say, babe, you did that. You better say you did that.
But go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just messing with you. I'm gonna have to get the baby, y'all. Hold on.
She about to walk over there and walk right back, because I don't want no problems. Yo, speaking of Kazai, like, you know, I like learning the dynamic between moms and husband, right? She cried, just look at her for a second, right? And I'll be like, what you gonna do? What you want? She'll change herself, move her position or whatever. If she moves around, my wife going to get her. I ain't, huh? Well, you know. Yeah, I know. This is good stuff, man.
I want to ask this.
Yeah, please.
This is good what you were saying. So Jake said something. I think a couple Sundays ago he was talking about marriage, and I think one of the hardest part about probably a lot of the listeners, and I'm sure a lot of listeners are probably happy that their partner is tapping in on this conversation, is how to have the conversation. Because T.D. Jakes talked about. He said, I think y'all know what I'm talking about. I might not be able to repeat it just like he did, but he said that a lot of times we don't know that what I needed then, I need something different now.
Seasons.
And people don't know how to have those conversations. It's a body language. It's a frustration. And couples don't know how to have that conversation of going back to this topic, what worked for me then ain't really working for me now.
And if you don't have a conversation, I tell my wife all the time, I'm not accountable for what I don't know. If you tell me, if you bring it to my attention, I'm aware. Then if I agree, I'm accountable. Because you could bring something to my attention, I could be like, no, I'm not feeling that. But we can't have these secret chambers of the mind, heart, body, not share them with the person and then hold them accountable, be moody, emotional, short, choppy, cheat, step out. That person has a right to have the opportunity to meet you at where your need is at. They have a right. They deserve that. You owe them that. That's why cheating is such a violation, because that person did not even get an opportunity to try to figure it out. You see what I'm saying? That's what I believe. I believe if you're feeling something, you have to let me know.
But I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
I like that.
Because some people have partners that are not as easy to talk to.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at.
And so I'm going to say it like this. Teachers, right? Teachers have to figure out how to teach every student in their class, because everybody does not learn the same. I'm going somewhere with this. One student may need something, the other student may need something. Everybody's different. So we have to learn how to put ourselves in teaching mode without being aggressive, because some kids can't handle that. They need tutoring. They need one-on-one time. They need a little more. And I feel like in our marriage, when you have somebody that you can't really go to directly and talk, you got to figure out how to say it in a way that could be in the bedroom, in the bed, during lovemaking. You got to feel, okay, God, teach me how to talk to my husband. Teach me how to talk to my wife to where it comes across. Because some people just ain't going to change just how they receive things. Because it can come off like, so what you trying to say? Like, And it's like, no, I'm not trying to say that. So I feel like you have to just, in your marriage and your relationship, you have to figure out how to go about it where you can get what you want without saying what you want to say. And it's ways to do that.
I think that was dope, and I want to take an opportunity because I know I had to come to this place in my marriage. Brothers, men, kings, husbands, I guess fiancés, you sleeping together anyway. You know, we ain't perfect. We all done something. When your woman comes to you with a suggestion, an idea, an opportunity, put your ego to the side. Just because your woman comes to you and says, hey, can I talk to you about something? So I was thinking. That's not a shot at your ego. That doesn't mean you're inadequate. That does not mean you don't meet the bar. That just means that she is interested in coming together with you to build further upon that foundation that y'all have already created and established. You can reject her heart and her mind, and then she may never bring nothing else to you, which is a dangerous place for a relationship to enter. If you let your insecurity and ego rob you of the opportunity to fulfill her need. While you was talking, I just wanted to jump in and say that because you made a dope point about communication. So I'm just sticking to the fellas because I know when it comes to money, sex, and leadership, we can have strong insecurities and ego trips, so on and so forth. That's a sacred spot. It should be handled with white gloves. So I'm out on that one. Just fellas, if your woman comes to you, see it as an opportunity and not a threat at your manhood, not a threat at your height, your weight, your shoe size, whatever. Just meet her where she's at and hear her out with an open heart.
And to the women, I will say this. It's a way you say it, and it's a way you know you're dealing with a strong-minded man. You know you're dealing with someone, whoever you're in a relationship with, you know your partner. You know who you're dealing with. Like I said, there's ways that you can do it where you wake up in the morning and be like, I got everything I wanted. I got everything. I even got a gift. And I ain't have to say what I was, what I was feeling. But I went about it, and we went to dinner. Then after that, I said, I wrote a letter, pick it up at the bar, meet me at the room. It's so many ways to go about it to keep from arguing and to keep, the spice going. It's so many different ways to go about it. Guilty? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because that was my next kind of question, is about the routine of the relationships, because sometimes I feel like relationships get like church, just get routine. You get up and sit down, you get up, you do it, you get up, you do it. We used to do it, you do it. You do it. You get up, you go to work, you come home, you do it. You get up, you go home, you do it. And it's like, it's routine. And and you don't want to say, had a little conversation. I think the hardest part about this whole conversation is the conversation.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But that's love making though. Like being able to have that level of conversation with my wife sometimes makes everything else seem like that's a walk in the park. These are not challenges. These are opportunities. These are nugget moments to build trust and loyalty with your partner. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry.
No, kick it.
It just fell in my spirit to just say this to all of my queens who are watching, because this is the thing that me and my loved one was talking about. You got to keep the spice going. I'm gonna say what I gotta say without saying too much. We are different from our men. We are totally different. So if there's something you want, there's so many ways to go about it, but keep the spice going. Do not just become a mom and lose the fact that your husband needs the same amount of attention. Your partner needs the same amount of attention. I love all three of my children. I love what I do on stage, but none of that comes before my husband. Okay, understand? We needed a date night the other night, so my mother-in-law came over and we took our date night. You can't lose your spice. You can't take the kids everywhere you go. Sometimes you got to get rid of the kids and you got to go to the store. You know what store I'm talking about. Get an outfit, and you've got to keep the party going.
Don't be scared of going there, fellas. I walk up in there like I got equity ownership.
Yeah, you can take him in. Like, what do you like? What you want?
Bro,
Speak
I walk up in that
you
joint, bro. I be the only dude in line, bro. I be in that joint, man, like, what's happening?
Yes, take him.
I mean?
Like,
know her size and everything.
Let's plan a night. I want to say to all the couples who are watching, if you've been dealing with this, he just don't do it for me. She just don't do it for me. I'm tired. What was some of the stuff we talked about last week? I ain't happy no more. All this stuff. Like, take a night and start over. Like, go ahead.
You know what's so important about this conversation, squad? Y'all know what's so important about this conversation and why people need to have the conversation. Because there's a person sitting in a chair saying, you just don't do it for me no more. And that's bold. You know why? Because that's to say you assume that you do it for them. The conversation allows me to say, I really don't like that. I like this. It gives my wife an opportunity to say, we've never done that, but I would like to. Because when you make the assumption and you start making the move and associated behaviors that just doesn't do it for me, that's a very bold and proud posture, because it is to say that you're all that. And you know on the other end, you've covered all the angles, not considering, I wonder if my partner feels the same way I feel. And into the conversation from that posture, then things can happen. Because if you walk in like, you know, little homie, might say something might cut your heart and how you needing counseling.
Yeah.
Bring something to your attention.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The assumption should not. That's why the conversation is so important.
And you can have the conversation, going out to eat first, write a letter, get a sexy outfit, go out, have a night, and you can find different ways to have that conversation without having that conversation. I promise you, you'll be good in the morning.
Because, you know, I can imagine, you know, some of these people have been married a long time, and you start to feel like the energy don't match. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, you like, oh, okay, let's go in here, you know, lay down. I lay this way, you do it this way. Get up, go watch TV, cook me something to eat, we go back to bed, you know. And I don't know, like, how important is it that you take note in the energy that you're matching your partner's, you know, energy? Important.
Dating is so important, man. I get it. We only been married 7 years this month.
Oh, shoot.
We got an anniversary coming up. Hold on, what's the date? Yo, we got an anniversary in like 12 days.
Look, we're new moms, new dads, but I told you we gonna go. Your mama coming over. Understand what I'm saying? And you remember our honeymoon? Remember Puerto Rico? Do you remember?
I don't forget nothing.
At the bar. I won't be there, but there'll be something waiting for you. And I go wear my pumps again.
What was I saying?
Yeah, you forgot.
Hold up.
You forgot. That's good. Our anniversary is coming, and we're gonna have a great night.
Hold on, let me get me. What was I talking about?
They saying that
on
here
date
too.
night.
Date night.
Right?
They saying men need to match energy. They said men need to match energy too.
Yeah, men do need to match energy. Just understand that we on a different wavelength. One of the biggest breakthroughs for me and my wife is that I don't move the way she move. I don't think the way she think. I'm not spontaneous. I'm not. I'm order. I'm discipline. I'm structure. I'm consistency. She's spontaneous. Last minute, wake up. Let's go to Africa. We have to find harmony within there. Okay, let's go to Africa. Let's make sure everything's taken care of. Let's figure out what we're going to spend. Let's find harmony within it. Right. I'm not going to match her energy. She may walk in the room, be bubbly. I may be in there trying to assassinate behind the radar. We can... Why we got to match energy? Why not just try to find ways to complement each other's energy?
Right, you're not going to match it.
I can't match her energy.
Right.
She can't match mine.
But we're going to make sure I pick up your energy, you pick up mine. Let me help. Let me.
And then our energy should create a dope vibration.
Like the other day, we was in the house, and we've been in the house since COVID. Then we got pregnant, so we was in the house even more. And then we came back home, and we're still in the house. And I was like, we need to do something different.
My wife's about to pop.
And
you know what I'm saying?
And he texted me later on that day and said, would you like to go out to eat? And I'm like, yes. Like, that's what I was trying to say. Let's get out of here. Yeah. So we don't have to match each other's energy. just make sure that if your man hit you up or say something to you, you know, you don't have to match it, but let's kind of let me help. Let me fix the problem. Let me do my part. He does his part. I want to go to Africa. Okay, if I want to go to Africa, he's the order person. Then get on let's figure out when our flights are, where we can stay. Let's get this thing in order. But I want to go to Africa. So we don't match each other energy, but we're going to make sure we go to Africa. And that's my part. And he'll make sure we got the order and the agenda. That's his part. Here we see? That makes sense? You get it?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
That's why I love making it has to be selfless, man, because sometimes we want to do what we want to do. And we want to do it how we want to do it. And so what you do is you rule that other person out. Why should he or she get motivated, inspired, or enthused to do any of that?
Yeah.
Now I feel like a pincushion. I want to feel like an active player. I want to feel like an active participant. I want to feel like I'm a board member in the bedroom. I want to feel like I'm a board member.
Right.
I don't feel like I'm a pincushion.
So you won't end up saying, she just don't do it for me no more.
Now we had several other topics that were supposed to go with. They just don't do it for me anymore, but we knew this was a hot one.
Yeah, I was like, I like this. This was a sexy conversation. I like this.
And I salute the team for us handling
Cool off.
Well, I'm just saying. This was just
I salute us for having a conversation with integrity,
Yes.
with class, tastefully, with nothing that should vex our spirit. We're having 13-year-old up to 65-year-olds tuning in tonight, and that's important. Is that we do things that we know God will be proud of, and not do anything that is shameful or harmful to anybody. So I think,
and for the young people who are watching, let's not leave since you said 13 and up.
yeah, it's some 13, 14, 15-year-olds watching.
Yeah. You just not ready yet. Now I'm trying to save you.
And you don't know it.
Cause I've been there, I've done that. Understand what I'm saying? I got a daughter. We got kids. So we saying the same thing to them, and we trying to save you the heartache because you just ain't ready yet. This ain't the conversation for you. You're not ready yet. That's all I'm gonna say.
And that's okay. Like, and I do really have a heart for our youth, because I jumped in that water. I had Trey at 15. I was 15 years old.
I was 17 when I
was 15, 17. And we didn't have 98.7% of the distractions and sexual temptation and sexual confusion and forcefulness. It's so you can't even watch a Hardee's burger commercial without somebody in a swimsuit eating and mustard running down her face and she licking her fingers. Like everything. Can I just get a burger? Can I just get some sourdough bread and move on? Everything is sex. So we're telling you the challenge is tough. All we can do is just confirm that I know for a fact within God, and you putting a high value on yourself, that it's worth it, and you could have a lifetime of pain. You could be attached to somebody who you only intended to see for one night and be attached to them for the rest of your life over one decision in one moment. Just place a higher value on yourself. And don't just give yourself away so frivolously and so freely. Put a price on yourself and make it steep. You know what I'm saying?
And that means learning to love yourself. You gotta learn how to love yourself. Yeah. Yep.
I like this conversation. This made me feel mature tonight. Who sang that song? I'm telling you this. I'm telling you that. Barry White. That's
back.
This
I got a message that I wanna preach. So here I am, baby. Practice what you preach.
Yeah, that made me feel that kind of way tonight.
I got some things up here, boy. I got some things up here.
What just happened?
That was just a moment. It got real mature in here.
That's for us old folk, not my little. That's my young thing right here. She hate when I say. Oh, she hate when I say that.
Because we just went real mature on her. We got real mature.
You my little PYT.
Cool down. What in the world is wrong with y'all?
Practice what you preach.
Sean, you better not. You better not.
Sean, go there.
Sean is over there trying to find it. You better not. Y'all tripping.
Let them use you, Sean. Let them
use you. That was real mature. This was real mature tonight. This was real.
I saw about the corner of my eye. I was like, oh, how you gonna?
Yeah, he was over there quick too.
I said, oh, how you gonna do this?
Y'all tripping.
He gonna mix some of that with Pastor Troy.
Y'all tripping. It was a good conversation. It was definitely needed. Like I said, it popped like it's when I was having the conversation. I'm like, oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. This is a good one.
Yeah, this was a grown folks.
Say, just don't do it for me, but first know thyself. Once you go from there, take your wins, take your losses, but at least know yourself. Cleanse yourself from mistakes. Cleanse yourself from the impurities of what other people have told you. Find out for yourself and build upon your own truth. That's the best you can do today. Build upon your own truth, not the expectations of the world around you or what somebody's trying to force upon you. That's how you can sleep at night and wake up and look yourself in the mirror, is when you're rocking in your own truth.
Yeah. And y'all, this marriage thing and this life thing is just, it's not easy. And I always say, like, to me, I look at it like playing a game of space, because I haven't learned how to play chess yet because my husband hasn't taught me, because he does not want me to beat him.
Tell him the truth.
So he had what?
Tell him the truth.
What?
I ain't never tried to teach you the game of chess. One of our first dates is you coming to my house.
The game of chess is a hard game, baby. I need to be tutored.
Yeah, it's just repetition. I teach you. I teach you.
I just asked you the other day. I was like, let's play chess. But anyway, spades. You find a partner and you play to win. And your partner, that's your marriage. You can't just give up easy. You can't just toss them to the side.
And don't cut my books.
Ken, are you kidding me?
I didn't say nothing. What? I didn't.
I ain't never cut you.
I'm just saying, spades don't cut the books. You sound guilty.
Kendall, say this prayer so we can get to this practice what you preach.
What is wrong with you? You done went to Tampa and you came back different. Quentin?
Everybody loving it. They like,
Quentin, what did y'all do to my friend?
This is mature. If I drink, I would drink probably Royal Crown. Tonight.
Royal Crown. Is it Crown?
You would go Royal? I thought you were going to say like Malibu or some Saint Germain or something.
And y'all, if y'all can see him, he said it with so much confidence. If I can drink, it would be Royal Crown. It's Crown Royal.
Crown Royal.
Well, Crown.
You going to be in the ABC all day. I know it's in here.
It's the Royal Crown.
Y'all got some of that Royal Crown.
Why would you drink Royal Crown?
I don't know. I've just been seeing that around for a long time.
That's the thing. But you better get on something new.
Isn't that the one?
Get some Ciroc in your life.
Isn't that the one that used to put in that little purple bag?
Yes.
Man.
Well, we can tell you don't drink.
Don't let that be your first anything. Yeah, that is.
Passed out.
That requires a PhD in sipping.
We're going to get you one of them little Smirnoffs.
And the little ones that they got at the cash register.
Get him a Smirnoff.
Hey. That's it, bro. Trust me.
Oh, my God.
Let go, man. Hey, Kezzy, I'm proud of you. Your first Taylor talk. You ain't make a fuss. No, nothing. But I know you got something in store for us tonight. You never fail.
And you'll be asleep.
You wake me up and I get up. You wake me up, baby, and I'll be like, I'm up.
Please, somebody text me. DM me or put up under the thing what I can watch. Like a series to keep me up. Something that's good. Dorikas, what can I watch?
Royal Crown.
The Royal Crown. Hey, that sounds like it'd be a dope show. The Royal Crown.
I have watched the Kevin Hart movie so much.
Yes. It's good. It's a good movie too.
It is a good movie, but I have watched it so much. I need something.
I go see Wake Up is on. I'm like, yo, yeah.
Come on, you got something else I can watch?
Everybody saying Manifest. Did y'all finish Manifest?
Yeah, did we get the season?
Manifest. You put us on to that, Dorikas.
Yeah. Everybody saying it. Manifest.
Okay, what else? I like girly, happy, maybe a tear. Anybody? Come on, hit me with something quick.
L.A. Finest.
L.A. Finest. Yeah. What's that about, y'all?
Sound like police.
I want no killing.
Police.
All American. I think
man. Ever since my wife got pregnant and we had the baby, man, I probably get me about one action movie every other week. maybe.
Ain't nothing out, babe. Ain't nothing
Everybody's
out.
watching Manifest. It's just saying Manifest.
Manifest.
Really?
Okay, we'll jump back on.
We was enjoying
on
it
it.
though. Yeah, we was on it.
All right.
Yeah, do you some Royal Crown and watch Manifest. Oh, they said Sex Life on Netflix.
Sex Life.
I don't know why shows like that. I just don't. I won't hit the. I don't know. I just feel like
Sex Life.
Now that's not dealing with anything we've talked about tonight, huh, guys?
It's gotta be.
Sex Life.
Okay.
Like,
I'll try.
I see certain shows and I'm just like, I'm good. No pun. No. I'm. You know what I mean? Just,
Ken only watch Karate Kids and.
I love kung fu. I like action flicks.
Yeah.
I watch everything now.
I need a girly type love.
You know, seeing all the relationships.
Okay, well, watch Virgin Rivers. Somebody said Virgin Rivers. They did say that.
Did they really?
If Sex Life's too much, watch Virgin Rivers.
Y'all stupid. Y'all stupid.
Whoever it is, I ain't playing with you. Be up all night.
They said
Doing the
much,
with the Amazon Virgin Rivers.
Everybody said
no results found.
Virgin
Rivers.
I will watch Virgin Rivers. Okay.
I don't think.
And then if that's too
really
dry, go to Sex Life.
You know what? Forget about it. Me and Keziah watch Boss Baby. I'm done. It's a new
I think
movie
something
out.
happened to me too. Now I had a little girl. Like I done got real uptight. I don't like the old me or the future you.
So what you want to watch, Boss Baby tonight? Is he the
Boss Baby
or
was lit,
Prince?
though.
Is he the Boss Baby or Princess and the Pearl?
They said get you some Royal Crown and watch The Shy.
The shot.
Shy. Ain't that?
Yeah, I see that stuff I gotta watch by myself. Like,
Is that Bang Bang Shoot 'em Up stuff?
but you'll watch Queen of the South with me, so we gotta figure this out. You'll watch Queen of the South with me because she killing cats. But then when I want to watch something, you be like, oh, it's too much killing. They done cut everybody's head off in Queen of the South.
You know what? We gonna watch the Bible story tonight, and that's it.
They
I
said-
try to give you Boss
they
Baby.
said-
I'm gonna sleep in my office.
They said Royal Crown and Boss Baby actually really goes
He
together.
is on
No,
that
like-
Royal Crown.
Pray, Ken, because he tripping.
All right. Man, tonight was dope. Father, thank you for laughter and tough corners. Thank you for breathing room in tight spaces and allowing us to tackle something that may be taboo, but also just we hope that your love, your clarity, and something worthy in our demonstration can offset as a contribution the propaganda that's being put out there to kind of confuse us of who we are, who others are, and how we're supposed to interact with one another. So cleanse us as only you can. Fill that hole with your grace and your mercy as only you can, so that we can be whole and then understand what love truly is. We give you all the glory, power, and hopefully by a demonstration, we will worship you. In Yeshua's name we pray. Amen.
What's the name of the book again?
No Crowns in the Castle. We're going to start hashtagging that because that book is about
No Crowns in the Castle.
Huh?
Can you give me that